Here at 105.5 WDHA on the Morning Jolt, we've got Giants, we've got Vikings, we've got playoffs this weekend, and my guest, Charlotte Carroll from The Athletic, is with me. Charlotte, I think for me, the biggest question I have on this game is, which Vikings team is showing up?
No, that's a very good question. I would imagine we'll get the Vikings that we saw in the Giants' first meeting back on Christmas Eve. Can't imagine last week's Vikings will make an appearance given a playoff matchup, postseason on the line. So I'm guessing we'll see a scary Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins as well. So that's my guess, educated.
What's the biggest key for the Giants to win this game?
I think it's pressure on Kirk Cousins, actually, that, and then also covering Justin Jefferson and making sure that they've got a solid plan. He had 133 yards and a touchdown the last meeting. There's a possibility the Giants could get back cornerback Adoree Jackson, who hasn't played since week 11, I believe. So that would be a big help in the coverage and not just relying on backup Fabian Moreau and then even with Xavier McKinney back.
I'm picking the Vikings to win this game, but their defense can give up a lot of points, and I think Saquon could have a big game against this defense. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've actually got the Giants to win this just given how close the previous matchup was. It was just little mistakes on the Giants' end that cost them the game. So I think if they've straightened that out like they have the last few games, there's a big opportunity for them. They've really exploited the Vikings' pass defense. So I think that's key as another big performance from Daniel Jones. And then obviously Saquon needs to get going too.
We had kind of two different versions of the Giants this year. The schedule favored them early on. They dominated. The schedule got a little tougher, and they didn't dominate so much. So, again, I was talking before, which Vikings team shows up. The Giants have shown some resilience, but I also think that there's still some questions about Daniel Jones and whether it's clock management, throwing the football at the right time to the right guy. There's a couple of questions with him, I think, in this game.
Yeah, no, I think he's played very strongly the last couple since really the Commanders rematch. He's come out, he's made the key drives when he needs to, and he's looked comfortable and confident in the pocket and outside when he's moving around. So I think if what we saw not only in the last Vikings game and then the Colts game, I think that's a big indicator of how he's playing lately.
You can read Charlotte in The Athletic and can also check her out on Twitter. Charlotte Carroll, leave out the vowels on Carroll. So it's Crrll. Charlotte, thanks for your time. You're going with the Giants. I'm going with the Vikings. We'll see what happens.
Thank you so much for having me on.